Most people look at Apalachicola and see a quiet, historic river town. But underneath it sits a story built on cotton, forced migration, and the destruction of Black freedom. And one of the clear symbols of that system is the Orman House. The Orman House was built in 1838 by Black enslaved laborers. Orman's wealth did not come from farming cotton himself. Apalachicola was a wealthy cotton port where goods flowed downriver from plantations across the South, then shipped out for global trade. That cotton system was powered by enslaved Black labor across the region, where merchants like Orman profited at the final stage when cotton became cash. So the Orman House represents more than architecture. It represents wealth built through a system of human exploitation. The people tied to this system were not from Apalachicola originally. Most were forced into a massive internal slave trade called the domestic slave system. Most of them were taken from Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, and moved deeper south into cotton regions like Georgia and Alabama. Families were separated. People were sold downriver, and labor was forced into new cotton frontiers like Florida. Some were born directly into slavery in the South, meaning bondage became generational. But not everyone lived under plantation control. At the mouth of the Apalachicola River stood the Negro Fort, a powerful Black freedom settlement connected to Black Seminoles. These communities were part of a larger alliance with the Seminole people, groups made up of the Yamasee, the Muskogee, Creek, Hitchiti, and Miccosukee-speaking people, Apalachee, Choctaw, and Chickasaw people. In 1816, U.S. forces attacked the fort and destroyed the fort in a massive explosion. Hundreds were unalived instantly, but the violence didn't end there. Historical records show that after the destruction, survivors were hunted and captured. Some Black people who had been living freely in Spanish Florida or in Black Seminole communities were taken. And in several cases, those captives were forced into slavery in Georgia and in other southern states. Others escaped deeper into Florida swamps and formed new resistant communities. People who had found freedom, even outside of plantation slavery, were dragged back into bondage after the fall of the Negro Fort. So when you connect it all, enslaved people were taken from the Upper South, forced into cotton labor in Georgia, Alabama, and Florida. Cotton shipped through Apalachicola. Merchants like Thomas Orman profited from that trade. Black freedom settlements were destroyed, and survivors were enslaved. Many people were unalived. Many people were captured and enslaved. So when you look at the Orman House overlooking the river, understand what you're really looking at. Not just history, not just architecture, but a place where wealth and power stood on one side and forced labor and lost freedom stood on the other. And even after people fought to be free, that freedom was hunted down and taken. That's the part of the story that you were never meant to hear. Thank you so much for watching.